Most retirees don't run out of money because of big mistakes. They don't usually lose it all on a bad stock tip or a flashy luxury car. Instead, they run out because of small, invisible habits that quietly drain thousands of dollars every single year. And the worst part? These habits feel completely normal. In fact, you might be doing them right now, thinking you're being responsible. One of these habits alone could cost you over $50,000 throughout your retirement. There is one mistake that millions of retirees make every single month without even looking at their bank statements. There is even a habit that seems incredibly safe on the surface, but is actually one of the riskiest things you can do with your nest egg. If you are currently retired, or if you are part of the millions of people actively planning your retirement, the next few minutes could save you tens of thousands of dollars. Think about the story of a man named David. David was a diligent saver. He worked for 35 years, contributed to his 401k, and avoided major debt. He did everything the right way. When he finally stopped working at 65, he felt confident. But 5 years into his retirement, he noticed something terrifying. Despite not changing his lifestyle, his savings were shrinking much faster than his spreadsheets predicted. It wasn't a market crash that was hurting him. It wasn't a bad investment. It was a series of everyday habits that were siphoning off his wealth. David represents the average person who forgets that retirement planning isn't just about the big numbers. It's about the leaks in the bucket. Here are 8 retirement habits quietly costing retirees thousands. Habit number 1 is keeping too much cash. This feels safe, especially when the stock market is volatile, but it silently destroys your retirement income. When you keep large sums of money in a standard checking or savings account, you're essentially letting inflation eat your future. If inflation is at 3% and your bank account pays 0.1%, you're losing money every single day. You aren't just losing purchasing power, you're losing the opportunity for investment growth. Imagine having $200,000 sitting in a low interest accounts because you're afraid of a market dip. Over a decade, that safety could cost you $100,000 in missed gains. The practical tip here is to use a balanced allocation strategy. Keep enough cash for a 1 or 2 year cushion, but ensure the rest of your wealth management strategy involves assets that actually outpace the cost of living. This leads us to the next habit, which costs even more because it happens every single year. Habit number 2 is claiming Social Security benefits too early. This decision alone can cost a retiree over $100,000 in lifetime income. Many people jump at the chance to take their benefits at age 62 because they want the money now. However, claiming early results in a permanent reduction of your monthly check. For every year you wait past your full retirement age, your benefit increases by about 8%. If you live into your 80s or 90s, that early claim becomes a massive financial penalty. Consider a scenario where waiting until age 70 provides a monthly check that is 76% higher than the age 62 amount. Unless you have a health condition that limits your life expectancy, taking money early is a habit of impatience that drains your long-term security. But surprisingly, waiting too long to address other financial areas can also cost you a fortune. Habit number 3 is paying hidden fees. Many retirees lose thousands and never actually see the bill. These fees are buried in fund expense ratios, advisor charges, and hidden account maintenance costs. You might think a 1% fee is small. However, a 1% fee on a $500,000 portfolio over 20 years can cost you nearly $200,000 in total value due to lost compounding. It is a silent killer of retirement savings. Many people stay with high-fee mutual funds because they've owned them for years and don't want the hassle of switching. To fix this, you must check the expense ratios of every fund you own and ask your advisor for a full disclosure of all management costs. Switching to low-cost index funds can save you a fortune. This next habit looks responsible on the surface, but it can backfire badly. Habit number 4 is being too conservative too soon. Playing it safe can actually make your retirement riskier. When people hit retirement age, their first instinct is to move everything into safe investments like bonds or CDs. While this protects you from a market crash, it exposes you to longevity risk, the very real danger of outliving your money. If your portfolio doesn't grow, it won't keep up with the rising cost of healthcare and daily living. A portfolio consisting entirely of bonds might feel stable, but it rarely provides the growth needed for a 30-year retirement. The practical tip is to utilize gradual risk reduction. You still need some exposure to stocks or growth assets to ensure your money lasts as long as you do. Without growth, your retirement is a ticking clock. But while your investments need to grow, your spending habits might be growing even faster. Habit number 5 is lifestyle inflation after retirement. Freedom can become expensive very quickly. When you suddenly have 40 extra hours of free time every week, the temptation to spend is massive. Frequent travel, dining out with friends every day, and picking up expensive new hobbies like golf or boating can drain a portfolio in record time. It's easy to justify these costs because you earned it. However, an extra $500 a month in discretionary spending adds up to $6,000 a year, which means you need an extra $150,000 in your nest egg just to support that one small habit over 25 years. The fix is to set a strict retirement spending plan and treat your fun money as a fixed line item. But even if you control your dining habits, one of the most expensive habits happens inside your own home. Habit number 6 is holding on to an expensive house. Your home might be quietly draining your retirement. Many retirees stay in the large family home where they raise their children. While there is an emotional attachment, the maintenance costs, property taxes, insurance, and utility bills for a large older home are significant wealth killers. Heating a 4-bedroom house when you only use 2 rooms is essentially burning money. If you downsize from a large home to a smaller, more efficient one, you not only lower your monthly overhead, but often unlock a huge amount of home equity that can be reinvested. A simple downsizing evaluation checklist can show you exactly how much you are paying for space you don't need. This next habit is something almost everyone does automatically, but it's a huge mistake. Habit number 7 is ignoring your tax strategy. Taxes can be one of the biggest retirement expenses you face. Many people think they will be in a lower tax bracket in retirement, but that isn't always true, especially if you have large RMDs, required minimum distributions. If you pull money from the wrong accounts in the wrong order, you could end up paying thousands more in taxes than necessary. For example, withdrawals from a traditional IRA are taxed as ordinary income, while withdrawals from a Roth IRA are tax-free. If you haven't planned your withdrawal order, you might accidentally push yourself into a higher tax bracket or trigger higher Medicare premiums. Tax-efficient withdrawals require planning years in advance. The final habit is the most dangerous because people don't realize it until it's too late. Habit number 8 is having no formal withdrawal plan. Most retirees simply guess how much they can afford to withdraw. They look at their balance and take out what they think they need for that month. This lack of structure leads to market timing mistakes and overspending during the early, active years of retirement. Without a sustainable plan, such as a modified 4% rule, you are flying blind. If the market drops 20% and you continue to withdraw the same amount of cash, you are cannibalizing your principal and making it impossible for your portfolio to recover. A simple withdrawal framework ensures that your spending adjusts based on market performance and your remaining life expectancy. To keep your momentum going, let's look at a few quick bonus habits. Many retirees pay for subscriptions they no longer use, like multiple streaming services or magazines. They also often carry unused insurance policies or pay high bank fees because they haven't updated their account types in years. These small, zombie expenses can easily add up to $1,000 a year. Ultimately, retirement success depends on your habits. Small changes in how you manage your cash, your taxes, and your housing can result in huge savings. The difference between a stressful retirement and a comfortable one often comes down to avoiding these hidden money drains. Which habit surprised you the most? Is it the hidden fees or the cost of staying in a large home? Comment below and let us know your thoughts. And if you're serious about your retirement planning, watch this next video to ensure your nest egg stays protected.